Hi, and in this video I'm going to show you some foot mobility drills to help improve the strength and stability of your feet. I'm Yasmin Say, I'm founder and owner of Say Fitness Personal Training. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Okay, let's get started. So, a little bit of an anatomy lesson before we get started. Strong, healthy feet are wide with toes that splay outwards. This is their strong, natural shape, which can be lost if we squeeze our feet into tight, restrictive shoes for a very long time. The human foot is quite incredible. There are 33 joints, 26 bones, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments all residing in your foot. But the human foot has specific loading areas and balance areas. And did you know that the big toe alone is 4 times denser and thicker than all the other toes? So what I'm about to demonstrate to you are some mobility drills to help improve the strength and stability of your feet. These are drills that I use on myself and on my daughter, who both have flat feet, okay? So we don't have any arches, natural arches to our feet. So if you are the same, if you know that you have even some hypermobility in your body, then these are the drills to do. For the purpose of these mobility drills today, I'm going to be using my Naboso mat. And the Naboso mat is specifically designed as a neurosensory mat to help stimulate the bottom of your feet. The link to this mat is in the description below. Okay, let's start with exercise 1, which is going to give a nice big stretch to your feet and to your toes. So what I want you to do here is you're going to spread those toes nice and wide. So you're going to lift all 10 toes off the ground and then spread them down. And what you're trying to aim to do here is to try and spread those toes wider than the balls of your feet, okay? So if you know about like toe separators, when you use to paint your nails, for example, you're trying to emulate that. And of course, there are ways of helping improve that splaying of the toes and the feet. And you can buy, for example, toe separators. Again, I've linked to this in the description below. That you can wear day to day to help improve that spaciousness between the toes. So lifting all them up and then spreading them wide, wider than the balls of the feet. Once you've done that a few times, I want you to grip those toes down and then just lift the big toe up on its own. So these are your toe lift-offs, okay? So you're going to lift that big toe as high as it can, keeping the other toes down, and then release. And again, lifting it up as high as you can. And don't worry if at first you're like, why am I not connecting with my feet? Again, it is trying to enhance and improve those neuromuscular connections between the brain and our feet. So even just practicing a few there, I've improved the range of movement in those lift-offs already. And then once you've done the big toe, you keep the big toe down and you lift all other 8 toes off and then release. Lifting it up and then release. Up and then release. The next exercise is called piano toes, or that's what I like to call them. So in this exercise, you're going to improve the articulation of your toes as they come down towards the mat. So you're going to lift all 10 toes off. You're going to start with your little toe and then go to the next toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and finally the big toe as you bring them down. So you're lifting them all up, little toe, all the way down to the big toe. And just practice this a few times, really trying to get each one planting down individually, one after the other, until now you reverse it. This side I feel it's always a little bit harder. So big toe down first, then the next, third, fourth, fifth. They tend to all come down in one go. But again, if you practice, you'll improve that sort of motion, that articulation a little bit more. Last try here. And then release. Now spread those toes nice and wide again. And I want you to have a feel for your tripod points of the feet, which give you the most stability in your foot, okay? For balance, not only, but of course, from everything in terms of just strengthening that stability in your feet. Let's say if you do a lot of weight training, this is super, super important to understand where to press and where to activate through your feet. So once you've spread those toes nice and wide, I want you to particularly press down into the big toe, the little toe, and the center of the heel. Those are your tripods, yeah? And whilst you're doing that, once you've found that sort of tripod point, I want you to feel that shift in weight as you shift your body weight more into the front areas of the tripod and then into the back areas. So pressing down more into the balls of my feet, into the big toe and little toe, and then more into the center of the heel. So I'm now trying to find my center point of gravity a little bit more. So as I shift forwards and backwards, I'm slowly reducing that range of movement until I find somewhere in between, yeah? Where I can equally now press down into the big toe, little toe, and heel. So when you do find that sort of tripod position, if you're struggling to find it at first, do a little bit of those shifting patterns forwards and backwards, and then find that center point of gravity where you can actively press through the big toe, little toe, and the heel. Looking at your ankles now. So I mentioned earlier that I suffer from flat feet. I've always had flat feet throughout my life. I've had to wear orthotics previously. My daughter has to wear orthotics in her shoes. It's not to say that you have to wear orthotics for the rest of your life, but there are, again, ways of mitigating, the flat foot, symptoms of flat feet by working your ankles, okay? By strengthening your ankles. So moving on to ankles now, I want you to rotate those ankles in and then out, in and then out. So as you can see, as I rotate them in, I give myself a flat foot. As I rotate them more into a neutral position, okay? You might start to feel some kind of activation into your glutes as your hips open slightly. But more importantly, if you did this exercise in front of a mirror, you'd be able to see how it changes the position of your knees. So as I rotate them in, this is my, I guess, more natural foot stance, my knees rotate in. So I have to actively work on strengthening my glutes, for example, and just reminding myself to find that more neutral position. So rotating in and then out. And what we want is that sort of natural kind of foot gait or that foot stance where we have a nice neutral arch. And a neutral arch, if you think about it, if I tried to put a pin underneath your arch, okay, you wouldn't want to collapse onto those pins, okay? So that's a good way of doing it. Once you've understood and practiced those drills, another good sort of toe stretch to get into sort of toe extension is lifting up onto the toes, onto your tiptoes, and then releasing down. What you really want to try and avoid is kind of working onto the outer side of the foot here, kind of losing your balance. You want to utilize all the toes as you lift up into your balance and then as you release down. So actually what I liken this to in terms of a Pilates exercise is when you're working through articulation through the spine, why can't we do the same with the feet? So as you lift up, I'm rolling up through the feet, and especially on the way down, I'm articulating through the ball, through the center, and then down into the heel. Let's do that one more time. So lifting up nice and tall, and then releasing down. Good. The final mobility drill for your feet is putting everything that we've just done into practice and testing your balance, your single leg balance in particular. So I've mentioned the tripod points. What I want you to do is press into the tripod points on your right foot. So I've spread the toes first, press into the tripod, big toe, little toe, and heel. Transition the weight onto that right foot, onto that right leg, and bring the left knee up. Now, I don't mind where you place your hands here for balance. You might want to bring them out to the side here, but you're really feeling into that strength of the right leg, pressing down through the foot and really thinking, am I pressing down into my tripod points? If you are, there's no reason why you couldn't be holding a single leg balance like this for up to a minute, minimum. So if that feels good and you feel quite stable, try on the other side. Spread, big toe, little toe, and heel. Transition, and then bring the leg up. Again, it should feel stable. Sometimes you have to focus on a point in front of you that doesn't move. Anything to help you find your balance. One side might feel very different to the other, okay? So, but remember your breathing, remember utilizing your core here, but focus on the tripod points of the foot here. Your ankle might be wobbling more on this side. Again, this is only going to improve your ankle strength as well. And then slowly release down. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed those foot mobility drills. If you want to check out a quick 5-minute mobility routine, then check out this video on my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon.